hands up.
Anyway, moving on from that, because we're here to just put pieces together, right? There's something else that we have been able to get our hands on. Actually, I had it for a very long time, and it's going to help solve another bout of amnesia. I'm so happy to be a pregnant person helping people who are not pregnant with their pregnancy brain. That feels good. Good old Officer Bagley, you're up. Man, that finds the screwdriver on the rooftop. The screwdriver, we still don't know if a screwdriver even works for that particular gun. That part's a bit strange. We do know it has Lance Twiggs's DNA alongside Tyler Robinson's DNA. Unfortunately, we can't even look at the moment that this screwdriver is found on the rooftop because, unfortunately, Officer Bagley's body cam went off at the exact wrong time. And we know he was with somebody, accompanied by somebody in plain clothes onto that rooftop when he found that screwdriver. And we would love to be able to ask that guy questions. But, well, Officer Bagley didn't get his name or something. I guess being an officer at UVU, you couldn't just be like, hey, can we get that footage so I can see who I was on the rooftop with for this really important moment where we find Tyler Robinson's DNA? They don't get access or something.
What's your airdrop? Oh my God. Make sure it's on. That's awesome.
Anyway, let's listen to some of his less than compelling moments from his testimony at the preliminary hearing. Take a listen.
It appears to me from reviewing your body camera that there was another individual who was with you that went to the Losi building who was in civilian clothing but appeared to have a gun. Who was that?
I don't know who he was exactly. He had a badge on, and I had somebody with me to back me up as I ran up the stairs to make sure I had somebody with me.
So you don't know what agency he's from or where he's from?
No.
And it looked like he had a pistol.
Yes.
Is that right?
A handgun, yes.
This armed, plainclothes officer yelling at people, where did it come from? What's going on?
I remember seeing this guy in shorts and a hat who I assume was a plainclothes police officer who was holding a handgun at his side, and I thought, oh, maybe that's the person who fired the shot. Maybe I'm about to be shot.
For the few seconds after the first gunshot rang out, they didn't know if more bullets were coming, if they were next.
Yeah, and like I said, 10 months later, he had no desire to just go over to the campus that he works on and say, hey, could you run the tape back? I'd like to see who I was on the rooftop with when I found this incredible piece of evidence. And he explains further about the body cam losing that footage. Take a listen.
All right, your body cam footage that I reviewed appears to end while you're still on the roof. Do you know why that is?
I think the battery went dead. It was just right at that moment.
Okay. And do you know, did you ever turn it back on that day or go get it, I don't know, what do you have to do, charge it or stick a new battery in it? I don't even know.
Usually dock it, but no, I didn't go back. It was too chaotic running around.
So that 27-minute and 35-second body cam that starts when you're at the Hall of Flags and ends while you're still on the roof but haven't put the crime tape up yet, that's the only body cam you have that day?
Yes.
Right.
Graphing at the time, so much was still happening, but...
Okay, who can I get information from who can speak officially on this? I was talking to law enforcement who were on the scene. There weren't very many officers on the scene at the beginning. Where should I go to get these answers? And really no one could give me the answers, especially right away. There will be a place where law enforcement ask media to go. Media staging never materialized. And so it was really hard to get answers as to what was happening.
The PIO is going to go there and that's where they're going to have media.
You know, people are speculating that Officer Bagley might not be telling the whole truth. You know, they say you're going to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. He might be telling the truth. His body cam footage was off, how it got off, maybe not the whole truth, and the nothing but the truth. People are going, I don't know. See, there's some weird things. We're going to address this timeline here. Take a look at this, right? I want to point your attention to 12:39 p.m. The first FBI agents arrive at UVU with the chiefs of police. That's what we are told. We were told it took 16 minutes, according to Cash Patel and Dan Bongino, in various interviews before they got there and secured the scene. So that's before 12:44, which is when Officer Bagley testifies that he arrives on the rooftop, right? He gets onto Losi building at 12:44. He discovers that screwdriver 10 to 15 feet past the railing in the gravel. Now, let's listen to Cash Patel say that, so there's no confusion if that's what we were told by the of police. That's what we are told. We were told it took 16 minutes, according to Cash Patel and Dan Bongino, in various interviews before they got there and secured the scene. So that's before 12:44, which is when Officer Bagley testifies that he arrives on the rooftop, right? He gets onto Losi building at 12:44. He discovers that screwdriver 10 to 15 feet past the railing in the gravel. Now, let's listen to Cash Patel say that, so there's no confusion if that's what we were told by the FBI.
Charlie was shot at 12:23 p.m. on Wednesday. The first FBI agents arrived on scene in 16 minutes with chiefs of police at 12:39 and secured the scene.
Again, what I want to stress here is that it took 16 minutes for them to arrive on scene. That is remarkably fast, given the FBI office is actually located in Salt Lake City. That's a 50-minute drive. It's actually incredible that they got there that quickly. If I didn't know any better, I'd say they had foreknowledge. They have a little office in a building in Provo nearby that has apparently 4 agents. So I'm stressing underscore that Officer Bagley went onto Losi rooftop after the feds had arrived and had secured and began securing the scene. And we can assume that the FBI is not going to allow just anybody to traverse onto Losi rooftop, right? Or onto any rooftop for that matter, because they're looking for a potential sniper, right? Randos in plain clothes jumping onto rooftops without the right credentials in the middle of a manhunt for a sniper. No, that's a pretty good way to wind up dead, really, if you were just playing around. So this Officer Bagley story isn't exactly tracking. And like I said, he should have had access to the cameras to figure out who he was up there with. And it's just astonishing that he claims it's a plainclothes officer who just had a badge and he doesn't remember. So I'm thinking in my head, examining the facts, that whoever he was with had to have had some rank. Feds on the scene. They would send themselves up there. They're not going to just let some scrub officer take over. Now, lucky for Officer Bagley, I went combing through all the footage that was sent to me on September 10th, and lo and behold, Officer Bagley gets up there at 12:44. I was able to find some footage of who Officer Bagley was with. It was captured by a bystander at 12:47 p.m. Thank you, Candace. Oh my gosh, you're welcome, Officer Bagley. I'm sure that's what you wanted. You just probably wanted to positively ID who was on the Losey Rooftop Center with you. And despite all of the resources of the feds and UVU police and all the cameras, you couldn't do it before that preliminary hearing when you sit down with your lawyer and try to make sure that you have every possible detail remembered. But here I am to save the day. Here is the footage. Let's watch that. 12:47 p.m. Random person walking and they catch Losey Rooftop. Who could that be? Who is that, dear? Who? Oh, man, in a plain clothes. Let's bring that closer, actually. Let's, Officer Bagley, I think that might be you. Because here you are, lower. We have a close-up of him down there wearing the hat and looks a little baldy on the side. Could be you, definitely, but we definitely can ID the other guy. Let's show them on that rooftop again. Oh, bag with the red hat. Losey Rooftop. So who is that guy in plain clothes on Losey with a bag and a backpack? Well, first and foremost, credit to Muppet Masher on X, who was able to identify the person. It is Officer Alan Robinson from the Utah State University Department of Public Safety, Utah State University. So not even a UVU officer. Now, this guy, in theory, is just supposed to be a part of general reinforcements on that day. A nobody. But I'm excited that we at least get to add this, presumably a nobody, to our ever-growing list of people who are brand new, because he had just joined the USU police force the summer before. Be like, this isn't your campus. More importantly, why is Officer Bagley seemingly running cover for this rookie? Seemingly, allegedly. Kind of makes me think that this guy is maybe more important than Officer Bagley is letting on. I'd argue it's actually a full-time job to keep track of Fed slop, but somebody's got to do it. They're not going to like what comes next.
That we are now going to fight fire with fire. We're going to play offense, and we're finally going to be back in the...
Because I'm 100% ready for it.
Deny it, I'm a straight rider. You don't wanna fuck with me. It's crazy, it seems they'll never let up. Please, you gotta keep your head up.